Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the JavaScript class. You should have been provided a website address, a logon name, and a password to log on to the system. Your logon name is always your email address. Your password is very simple. We'll see how to change it shortly. But let's go ahead in that instructions that you were given and log on to the website to the JavaScript class and see how it works. Here we go. This is the opening screen. It's what it should look like when you first log on the very first time. Very simple, straightforward interface. We're going to introduce you to the course and show you how to use the course in this video. Up here in the top left corner, we have a change password button. Since your initial password is very simple, we'd prefer if you change it to something you prefer. Whatever you like, go ahead and change your password when it's convenient for you. At the top left side of the screen, you'll be a sign off button. Make sure you sign off the system when you're done using it. Never ever leave your system signed on, especially if you're using it at school or on a public computer. Also in the middle here, you'll see the title of the course. But this is the title of the course. If you're enrolled in multiple classes with me, there will be options down at the bottom of the screen to switch classes. Always verify you're in the correct class if you're taking multiple classes from me. This red section is very important. That's where I post broadcast messages to the entire class. You can see here's my welcome class, welcome message. It's dated the first day of class. This is an 8-week course. I hope you're prepared for that. It is not a full semester course. This is an 8-week course. There are 16 lessons in the proper course. The proper pace is 2 lessons per week. So make sure that you understand we're finishing this course in 8 weeks and you are to complete 2 of these lessons per week. What we'll be doing in this video is going through what you need to do to finish lesson 1. There's also a course syllabus here, a link at the top. I put this course syllabus links all over the place, so make sure that you go ahead and read the syllabus. One of the first things I want you to do is click on, read, and print the syllabus. Always have a printed backup of the syllabus. So this is Computer Science 190, JavaScript programming. This course will use a learn by doing approach. 16 lessons will be posted with both lectures, lab assignments, and exercise assignments. Lectures will explain a specific topic, and the lab assignment will tell the student what to do. There will be a message board provided by the students so they can ask and answer questions. Please be active on the message board. We'll also be setting up a free web hosting site. Please take this assignment seriously. It's sort of your semester project. You'll be building 2 web pages for this class, one in-house and one on your own on an outside web server. So by the end of this course, you should have 2 JavaScript-packed web pages. Each student's success will depend on class participation. Participation is defined by students signing on at least twice a week, and I would say probably 3 times a week, and staying within 2 lessons of the rest of the class. Students who sign on once a month and try to complete 8 lessons at one time will be penalized. Posting questions and or answers on the message board will be a positive for your participation grade. This is a 100% online class that will be done through the web page. The only thing you have to come in is for a final at the end of the course. We'll talk about that shortly. Here on the syllabus is my information, my office hours, my email address, my phone number. Email is much better way to contact me. I only check my phone messages when I'm on campus. I check my email much more often than my phone. Here's information on the book that you should have. You can read that and order it. You can get it from the bookstore or order it online. Here's the important information that we want to look at. Grading. What is your grade going to be best on? Well, a big chunk of it, 40% or 40 points, is going to be online lesson reviews. As I said, there will be 16 lessons posted, and you're supposed to do all the lessons, the exercises, the quizzes, and the lab work. The reviews basically focus on the exercises and the quizzes. And every 2 weeks I'll go in and review that you've done your work. If you do your work on time, you will get those points. If you're one of these people that wait to the last minute to do your work and 2 days before the end of the semester you think you're going to do all the work and get credit for it, you're mistaken. Every 2 weeks I will do a review. If you haven't done the work by the review date, you don't get the points. Another big chunk of your points, 30% or 30 point, will be the 2 web pages. You're going to build a web page in-house on this website, and you're going to build a web page on an outside web page. Both of those pages are like a semester project or a term paper. At the end of the term, you should have 2 fully functioning web pages. That will comprise 30% or 30 points of your grade. And finally, the final will be 30 points. The final is a cumulative final. Typically, it's done at the college. You come in at the college and take the final. If you're an out-of-state student or an out-of-area student, you can arrange for a proctor and take it at any local college or testing service that you have nearby you. So there is one time that you will have to come in, and that is to take a final. If you're in the area, you should take it at the college. If you're not in the area, we have to work on a proctor. Out of that 100 points, you need 87 points to get an A, 75 points to get a C, 60 points to get a C, and 50 points to get a D. Makeup exams will not be allowed. If you miss the final, you have missed it. Also, if you don't do the work by the review dates, you have missed those points. This is an online class. You can do it when you want, where you want, how you want it, but you cannot wait to the last minute. The one thing I will penalize you points for is not doing lessons as the course continues. Here's some information, some rules of the course, if you will. In addition to the rules set forth by the Santa Clarita Community College District, students enrolled in this class must agree to the instructor rules and guidelines for an online class. Each student must complete his or her own assignments, project exams. Any student that has another person complete his or her lessons, projects, or exams is cheating. Students may be asked for identification prior to taking exams. Students are 100% responsible for backing up their own work. The instructor or the college district does not guarantee any data or web page stored on the class website. Suggestions on how to complete backups are available online, but even those instructions carry no guarantee. Students should save their own work and may be required to present it in the event of a system failure. This is true on any web project. Always keep a copy of your web pages on your system, on your backup. Never, ever, ever trust the host. So both web pages you're going to work on, you are required to keep a backup of. Each student is required to complete his or her own work, even if the class website is unavailable. Each student is provided a syllabus clearly stating the topics and reading assignments for each lesson. If the website goes down, work on your web page. If the website goes down, read the textbook. If an extended system failure occurs, please check your email for a message from the instructor or contact the instructor using the following information. The instructor is not required to work on weekends or required to answer email immediately. Students should keep working on reading assignments, the outside web page, and backup web pages if they encounter a problem. If you get stuck on lesson 2, don't just stop. You can always take the quiz, go on to lesson 3, come back and finish lesson 2. So don't ever stop, no matter how hard or how thoroughly you think you're stuck. It's important to keep moving. Students must complete work assignments each week. About every 14 days, the instructor will review your progress and assign 0 to 10 points. There are 4 reviews, 40 points totals. Students that do not finish their lessons before each review will lose points. You should complete 2 lessons each week. It is unacceptable to wait until the end of the term to finish assignments. This will result in a penalty reduction of points. The system is not guaranteed to be available 100% of the time. If you wait till the last minute, you do so at your own risk. That's it. Just keep working, please. Here's an outline of what the course will cover. Each lesson, your reading assignment for it. Again, if something should happen to the website and it's currently not available, please go read that chapter as listed in the syllabus. Back to the main screen. You can see right here, we do the video. What we're doing is looking at the video right now. So you should understand that this is where the video plays. The meat of the course happens on this blue bar. Everything you're supposed to see or do is on this blue bar. And basically, you just do it left to right. You can see I've got this video. The video you're watching should be on this first link here. There's a second video here that is for setting up your outside web page. Probably won't look at that right now. Wait till you're setting up your outside web page and you want to look at that second video. Then we go to the lecture. You should always read the lecture. The lectures are extremely important. I don't want to give it away, but hint, hint, a lot of answers to quiz questions and lab assignments will be found in these lectures. Please, please, please read these lectures. They're incredibly important. This essentially takes the place of me standing up in front of the classroom and talking about JavaScript. So read these lessons. They're interactive. They have little things that you can do. If you enter a couple of letters here, nothing happens. But if you enter letters here, you can see it reflects on the screen. You can see I've animated these cards. Please read these lectures, and when they ask you to do something like click on a link, click on that link. These lectures aren't meant to just sit there. They're to be actively used and to experiment with. So read the lectures. It's extremely important. And when you see a link, click on that link. When you see some instructions to enter some text, enter that text. So after watching the video, you should always go to and read the lecture. You see how I'm just processing this blue line left to right? Then we have some exercises. Do not try to do the exercises before you read the lecture. I'll be honest with you, a lot of the answers to the exercises are in the lecture. So what I'll often do is have both the lecture and the exercise open in two separate windows, or the lecture and the lab open in two separate windows. So whenever I'm doing an exercise or lab, I can refer back to the lecture for information. The exercises are not that bad, especially the early ones are fairly simple and straightforward. This one is asking us to copy and paste the confirm link function from the lecture. I'm going to go down here, find the confirm link function from the lecture. There it is. Boom. Copy it. Change the name of the function to a temp link. So I changed the name of the thing to a temp link, and then build my exercise program. Now it's very important to look at this screen carefully. If the word success shows up, then it was correct. You did it well. If the word success does not show up, that means something went wrong. You typed something in wrong, you changed something wrong. Basically, your program failed to run. If your program fails to run, I cannot put up a message for you. So this area may often be blank if there's a problem with your code. But if it's a success, you're in good shape. And one thing about this exercise screen, it doesn't automatically update after I completed an exercise. But you can see after doing it a second time, it seemed to work pretty good. My successful completions went up to 2. There's 3 required to complete the exercise. So I'm going to keep going and do it again. This time though, when I copy and paste it, I'm going to make a mistake. I'll do everything right up to a point, and then I'll make a mistake on it. Boom. That last curly brace is required. If I left it out, I'm going to get a problem. You can see I didn't see the success this time. It pops something up, but it records the attempt, but it doesn't record the success. If you don't see the word success, it didn't work properly. And in fact, when I go and reload, I don't see that third successful attempt. Again, I want you to do each of these exercises 3 times. I did this once as a test prior to this video. I just did it once here. I have 2 successful completions. I am not done until I get that third one in. So I will copy and paste again. And now I got my third success. If I hit return to exercise, it will show you. You can see that blue job exercise complete is in there. If I hit reload here on my exercise screen, I will see good job exercise complete. When this number here matches that number there, I am done. Now you can see for every lesson there are 2 exercises. Make sure that you do both exercises. And again, I'll have to do this 3 times in order to complete it properly. Are we getting the picture? What I want you to do for each lesson is just follow this blue line left to right. Watch the videos first, read the lecture, maybe open a second window with the lecture in it, and then do the exercises. Okay, after doing the exercises, let's click on the lab and go visit the lab. Once again, I'll move my screen around here. I like to have both the lecture and the lab open at the same time. Let's focus now on the lab. In the lab, we're going to build 2 web pages. A web page at college1.com where you'll upload here and we'll see and do it, and we'll build an outside web page. Let's look at the college1.com web page first. And it's going to be a very, very simple Lab 1 assignment. This is the first assignment. It's going to be an easy one. We want to put a headline tag in there, and under every lab we'll do this. Lab 1 assignment, and then we'll do Lab 2 and Lab 3 and so on down the line, but this is Lab 1. So we want to do a Lab 1 assignment. Now, how do I upload my college1.web page? That's where this button is very, 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 very important. See this Show Lab 1 window here? That button is the screen where you're going to be able to upload your web page, your college1.com web page. So here it is. The assignment says we want a Lab 1 assignment header. That is HTML. There are 2 boxes on this upload screen. If you look at the first one, it says put your JavaScript here. Okay, so all the JavaScript portion of the assignment should go in the upper box. If you look below, there's the HTML box. I should put our HTML there. This is definitely HTML that I want to start with, Lab 1 assignment. So there is a copy and paste over from the lab. Boom. Now I need JavaScript. What JavaScript do I want? Well, it says I want 2 links. I want the links to do the confirmation just like we did in the lecture. So I'll move my lab window over here, and you recall our confirm link function from the lecture. We need JavaScript. Now see this code? It's between script tags. If it's between script tags, what does that mean? It's JavaScript. So I'm going to grab the JavaScript over here and bring it in for my Lab 1, and I have my confirm link. I need an HTML, piece of HTML. That's HTML right there. Over here. And I want this HTML to go to college1.com. If all goes well, when I upload and display, I should see the code that I just built. There it is. Lab 1 assignment, jump to College 1. It's asking me, do I want to confirm? If I hit cancel, it doesn't jump to College 1. If I had go ahead, it would jump to College 1. You'll also see there's some code here, color coded. I've added a little extra here. That's what the program does. It takes your HTML and your JavaScript and blends it into a full web page so you don't have to worry about the details. The only thing I'd warn you about is make sure that you keep these script tags here. Right? There's a script tag at the end. There's a script tag at the beginning. Do not delete these script tags. As you add more and more code, put it between those script tags. That's where JavaScript belongs. Now there'll be a second link that you have to upload here, but we're not quite ready to do the second link yet. The second link, according to the web page, says it should go to your outside web page. You need a link to your outside web page. So it's going to be very, very similar to the one we just did, but we have to set up the outside web page first. Now what do I mean by the outside web page? Assignment for your web page outside of College 1. Set one up. You have to decide if you want to use a website you already own or one you create just for this class. It would help setting up an outside page. Be sure to look at the section below, setting up an outside web page, if you need help. The outside web page is going to be a pseudo business website designed to sell a product. You can choose from one of the following types of products: books, DVDs, and CDs, or clothes. It should be obvious what type of business you pick, because there'll be a huge centered headline across the top of the outside page. Say something like Bob's Book. You're going to use H1 tags with an alignment of center, and we're going to be very clear from the very beginning what this pseudo business website is trying to sell. At the bottom of the web page, put some favorite links and a little Lab 1 tag there to tell it it's part of the Lab 1 assignment, and make links to like Amazon.com for a book website. Make a link back to your inside web page, your college1.com web page. Add a few links down at the bottom of the screen. At this point, the outside web page should be very simple. Don't worry, that's what I want. We're going to add a little bit to the web page with each lab, and by the end we'll have a nice website. Not at the very beginning, but at the end we'll have a nice website. Also important for the outside web page is to use JavaScript to confirm each link, and that JavaScript must be in an external file. Ooh, what does that mean? That is, HTML for your outside web page will be one file, usually called index.html, and all the JavaScript will be in a second file called student.js. Then you can use the JavaScript in your HTML file to include that in the header section. And what I'm saying here is add my extra JavaScript file. So I want HTML in one file and JavaScript in a second file. This is not an option. You absolutely must use an external JavaScript file. I'm trying to teach you both ways to do it. You can put JavaScript and HTML in one file, like we're doing with the inside web page, or you can put JavaScript and HTML in separate files. I want you to do it both ways, so make sure you use a student.js file on the outside web page. Now, JavaScript is easy. If you already have a web page somewhere and you just want to make a JavaScript folder, go ahead and use your current web page. Don't change your current web page. Just put a folder in it called JavaScript, and we'll use an address to that folder, and boom, you've already have a web page. So if you already have your web page, then we want to go ahead and make a link to that web page on your main page, on your inside web page. Now, you can use any host you want. There are many free options for creating a web page. Avoid hosting sites that use pop-up ads. They're annoying and they can interfere with your JavaScript. So don't use a website with pop-up ads. The one I like currently is called X10 Hosting. There's a separate video to talk about X10 Hosting. There's basically the homepage for it. Just don't pay for anything. They'll try and sell you things, but this is a free hosting site. Go ahead and set up the free option. Do not buy a URL, do not buy an address, just use the free options. That being said, once you have that second web page up, that's when you want to go back to your Lab 1, copy and paste this link a second time, boom, and whatever your outside web address, change that to your outside web address. Then change this to jump to your business website name. So if you're going to call it Bob's Books, then jump to Bob's Books. Got it? That's the lab. Fairly simple for the first lab. Keep in mind, for every lab you're going to be working on two web pages. The internal college1.com website and the external one that you're setting up for this class. Notice also that I have my lecture notes on one window and I have my lab in another window, and that's the preferred way to work on this. So let's say I've completed my Lab 1. What's left? Just a simple quiz, that's all. And the quiz is important because it's the signal that you're ready to move on to the next lesson. The quiz says, when you take the quiz, you're saying, okay, I'm done with lesson 1. Let's move on to lesson 2. Quizzes are fairly simple. I'm not going to give you the answers here, so I'll just type in A, B, C, D, and E. I don't want want to give away the answers. The quizzes are easy enough as it is. I don't need to give away the answers. If one of these happens to be right, well, it happens to be right, but it's a pure accident. Wow. Unbelievable. No way. Oops, I have a little bug here. I'm going to go fix my little bug. Anyway, good answers should be in green. There's way too many greens. I better double check this quiz. Bad answers will be in red. Hopefully you're getting 5 out of 5 instead of 3 out of 5. This will affect your grade. Make sure that you take the quiz until the point you get 5 out of 5. Now something interesting is going to happen. Again, this little answers are wrong. I put in wrong answers intentionally. But let's go on. Let's continue on. Let's go back to your lesson plan and look what happens. Boom! We now have lesson 2 up there. Taking quiz 1 is what told us we were done with lesson 1. So lesson 2 shows up in my blue bar. The blue bar is always the current lesson I'm working on. My video just changed because now I'm looking at video 2 instead of video 1. And my old lesson, lesson 1, showed up down here in the archive. Let me expand that window so the archive looks a little better. So here's my old lesson. Now if there was something I skipped, like in exercises, oh, look at that. I didn't do exercise 1, 2. Feel free to go back and fix it. Feel free to go back and complete it. There's nothing that doesn't say you can't go ahead, take the quiz, move on to the next lesson, and then come back and finish something in a previous lesson. One of the reasons it shows up here in the archive is so you can do precisely that, go back. Again, I want to point out that you want to keep pace. You want to do 2 of these a week. If there's something you had to skip, skip it. Then come back later and fix it. So if there's something in lab 1 you want to go back and fix, click on lab 1 and go back and fix it. But if you're done with lesson 1 and you're ready to go on to lesson 2, complete it the same way as you did any other ones. Go left to right. You watch the video first, then you read the lecture, then you do the exercises, then you do the labs, and then you take the quiz. And that's it. You should do 2 lessons per week. Hope this video helps. And remember, don't forget to sign off.